unwavering, held hers. "You know I loved your mother. When Nora died, there was a time I wondered if I could go on living without her. But I have, and so have you." "Of course you have, Dad." Suddenly, it dawned on Kate exactly where this conversation was leading. It shouldn't have surprised her, and yet Kate's heart was beginning to hammer uncomfortably. Her father didn't need to say another word. She knew what was coming as surely as if he'd already spoken the words aloud. He was going to marry Dorothea Murphy. "Your mother's been gone nearly 5 years now, and, well, a man gets lonely," her father continued. "I've been thinking about doing some traveling, and frankly, I don't want to do it alone." "You should have said something earlier, Dad," Kate interjected. "I'd have loved traveling with you. Still would. That's one of the nice things about being a teacher," she rambled on. "My summers are free. And with Luke watching the ranch, you wouldn't have any worries about what's happening at home, and—" "Princess." His spoon made an irritating clicking sound against the sides of the ceramic mug, but he didn't seem to notice. "I asked Dorothea to marry me last night, and she's graciously consented." After only a moment's hesitation, Kate found the strength to smile and murmur, "Why, Dad, that's fantastic." "I realize it's going to be hard on you, Princess. So soon after Clay's wedding and all, I want you to know I have no intention of abandoning you. You'll always be my little girl." "Of course you aren't abandoning me." Tears edged their way into the corners of Kate's eyes, and a cold numbness moved out from her heart and spread through her body. "I'm happy for you, really happy." She meant it, too, but she couldn't help feeling a sense of impending loss. All the emotional certainties seemed to be disappearing from her life. Her father gently squeezed her hand. "There are going to be some other changes as well, I'm afraid. I'm selling the ranch." Kate gasped before she could stop herself. He'd just confirmed all her fears. She'd lost Clay to another woman. Now she was about to lose her father, and her home, too. Then another thought crystallized in her mind, a thought that had been half-formed the night before. If the ranch was sold, Luke would be gone, too. Clay, her father, the Circle L, Luke. Everyone and everything she loved gone in a matter of hours. It was almost more than she could absorb. Pressing her hand over her mouth, she blinked back the tears. "Now, I don't want you to concern yourself," her father hurried to add. "You'll always have a home with me. Dorothy and I talked it over, and we both want you to feel free to live with us in town as long as you like. You'll always be my princess, and Dorothea understands that." "Dad," Kate muttered, laughing and crying at the same time. "That's ridiculous. I'm 24 years old and perfectly capable of living on my own." "Of course you are, but—" She stopped him by raising her hand. "There's no need to discuss it further. You and Dorothea Murphy are going to be married, and I couldn't be happier for you. Don't you worry about me. I'll find a place of my own in town and make arrangements to move as soon as I can." Her father sighed, clearly relieved by her easy acceptance of his plans. "Well, Princess," he said with a grin, "I can't tell you how pleased I am. Frankly, I was worried you'd be upset." "Oh, Dad." Still grinning broadly, Devon stroked the side of his jaw. "Dorothy isn't a bit like your mother. I don't know if you're aware of that or not. Fact is, the only reason I asked her out that first time was so she'd invite me over for some of her peach cobbler. Then, before I knew it, I was making excuses to get into town, and it wasn't because of her cobbler either." Kate made an appropriate reply, although a minute later she wasn't sure what she'd said. Soon afterward, her father kissed her cheek, and then left the house, telling her he'd be back later that afternoon. She poured herself a second cup of coffee and leaned against the kitchen counter, trying to digest everything that was happening to her well-organized life. She felt as though her whole world had been uprooted and flung about, as though a hurricane had landed in Nightingale. Wandering aimlessly from room to room, she paused in front of the bookcase where a photograph of her mother stood. Tears blurred her eyes as she picked it up and clutched it to her chest.